Wow, guys, welcome to the Matrixxx Groove Hour. It is it Thursday already? My gosh, time flies when you're having a lot of cue drops. It is July 11th, 2019, and we've had some cue. We've got some good news for you. We've got some digging because, Shady,
what are shovels used for?
Digging.
That's right. And with that, we're going to bring on my fellow digger and shovel master, Shady Grooove with 3 O's on Twitter. How you doing, Shady? Welcome to the show.
Another lovely day of digging with you. Another great, beautiful day of digging with Anons. What a wonderful time to be alive. I'm blessed to be here just like always. And we have got a lot of stuff in store for you today.
And let's welcome our special guest.
This is what I was talking about.
From Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, Paulo Serran. Hello, Paul. Come on, man, buddy.
Thank you very much. Hello, Shady. Hello, Matrixxx. Hello, good people of the channel. And I'm very glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Oh, man, you're more than welcome. You're a great guest for the show. We've got some cue drops. Would love to have you sit in with us while we kind of go over some of those. And let's do this. What do you think?
Yeah, that's the thing to do now.
All right, and then Paul's got some cool stuff to go over as well. We'll get to that, but let's just dive right into it. We left off yesterday. Q did post starting at our show at 3 minutes after with the Planned Parenthood. Age of days increased. So does the value. This I don't really want to even show it because it's gross. But reality is hard to swallow. The red pill is hard to swallow, guys. It is very hard to swallow. And that post was done on 13:03 and 12 seconds. So, maybe we'll get some more Q on this show. We've 2 shows in a row now, Shady.
Yeah, with the alarm, we really get to we really get some fun there.
We get some fun. I love that alarm. It scares me. I had it on last night, and boy, I tell you, I'm sitting here digging, and it scared me.
I had the headphones on too. It happened to me as well. I about jumped out of the chair. What's that?
Right, and please remember, guys, that our post numbers are one-off. We are in the midst of getting a new Q-bot readied and more stable. So we are upgrading, guys. So stay tuned. If it says 3405, it's 3406. I have a misspelling there. Oh boy, I'm way off. So all the numbers are off, but we got Q posts. That's all that matters is the words on the Q posts. We've got this from Epic Times. We went over that yesterday as well during our show, and then right after our show, Q dropped this. Or did we? No, we went over this on the show too. Excuse me, guys. So we're starting with PP. News coming, and this is in regards to Planned Parenthood. There is news coming, and the GOP senators demand DOJ update on Planned Parenthood fetal tissue probe. So that's pretty interesting article there, Shady. Do you want to go through that at all?
Well, I don't know that we need to go through it, but it is, we'll kind of just see. Let's just see what happens with what they're doing. With a lot of the stuff that we know, this issue is way larger than most anyone really knows, and let's see if they can actually make some headway on getting some answers, because right now no one is required by our government to answer from Planned Parenthood, and no one is really aware of what they're really doing there. So Anons, it's kind of up to us to get this information out and to talk to people and explain what's really going on. We all know, we don't have to go into it over in depth right now, but I'm really hoping that this is a step forward, and Q acts like we are moving forward. So this is really good.
Absolutely. I mean, this is amazing. Q has been dropping some mad source, guys, and this has been amazing. This is a little video that was just put together by Patriots. The deep state's control over the country is over, and its flame is about to go out. So I'd like to add some, ready?
Just like that, my friends. We put them out.
There it is. And Sunday was Paul Ceran's birthday. He was 51 years old. Happy birthday, Paul.
Thank you very much, my friends. It was very nice. We had all kinds of small confirmations, and people were very kind to me. I tried to respond to everyone. My arm went numb, and I could not because people were showering me with love in such a big way.
You are greatly loved, my friend.
Very much so, sir. And happy birthday. And wasn't it interesting? President tweeted your age.
He actually did.
Yeah, he was like, come on, give me something that's 51 years old.
That's right. That's right.
They dug us some statistic.
Well, you're getting a lot. Q Patriot Robinson says happy birthday. Anna Brocour, Anna Sharkey, Mary Beckham, JLB 4288. Look at all the happy birthdays in there. I mean, I know.
Yeah, man, I love you all. I love you all very much.
Look at that. And you're not getting older, Paul. You're getting longer.
I'm a rocker. All the good rockers have to be old. I'm very happy to get old.
That's right. That's when we become, historic, right? All right. So let's go to the smoke and mirrors post. I'm going to go ahead and make this a little bit bigger so we can get it on the screen really nicely here. This is, let me just double check here. Stealth Bomber. This one. Okay. So smoke and mirrors. This one came out at 5:02 Eastern Standard Time, 17:02, and it's smoke and mirrors. This is an amazing post because it kind of talks about a lot of us, Paul, and what POTUS is doing and what he's been doing. And I really thought this was a really appropriate post for what we feel like. We feel like we're alone, right? But we're not. We went to the Orlando rally, and so many people knew Q. So many people even knew the intheMatrixxx account. It's mind blowing. So our views on our videos are censored. There's no doubt about it. I went to the local Best Buy, and 4 people there knew Q, and they knew my account. I mean, that just doesn't happen when you get 5,000 views on your YouTube videos. You know what I'm saying? So there's things that are happening here, and so we will go ahead and take a look at this. I see Ben Davis says read from top to bottom, but I'm going to read it normal first. 3408. Ready? Smoke and mirrors. Fake news media to attempt to truncate size of movement while building up size of the opposition. Inauguration day to current. Attempts to diminish and instill a "you are the minority" mindset narrative continues. People want to believe they are part of a bigger group. Size equates to accuracy in most minds. Acceptance, the right side. One of the primary purposes of POTUS holding a rally is to demonstrate the massive appeal, energy, and size of this movement. Plus the ability to correct false reporting and or highlight achievements, goals, etc. Compare and contrast. 45 rally versus any single one of the Ds. What is obvious and true? Why does POTUS mention crowd size at each and every rally? What is projected by the MSM? Lies become truths. Truths become lies. Smoke and mirrors. You are the majority. People united and awake is their biggest fear. Do you think it is a coincidence that we are being attacked aggressively by some of the biggest media corporations in the world right after our return? If we are simply a conspiracy or a LARP, or some kid living in the basement as stated repeatedly, why do the world's largest media companies continue to dedicate so much attention and time to attacking us? $1 billion companies expending resources to stop a LARP And again, LARP is live action role player. It's a video game kind of term. LARP, you're pretending, right? Billion dollar companies expending resources to attempt to shape the mindset narrative to prevent and slow digestion of the masses. You attack those you fear the most. Why does the media rush to shape events? Why are the same key words always used? Psych 101. If you see and hear the same thing over and over again, ... They do not want you thinking for yourself. They do not want you challenging their authority. Logical thinking always wins. Trust yourself. Always. Attacks will intensify. Fake news, arm of the D party, enemy of the people. Q.
All for a LARP, huh?
All for a LARP.
Yeah, and I loved how you did the Morse code on the dots there, man. That was great. ...
Thank you, Paul. That was
I
good.
could make a song out of that.
It's Q Post 3409. So remember, we're just one off. We're getting that fixed, guys. Stay tuned, okay? Then we got this one, Shady. 3409. You want to take it?
The stealth bomber. This one is kind of getting into, we're going to get into some really interesting stuff with this later on. I actually probably leading right into, but this says stealth bomber, date of first flight, date of Mueller's testimony, A, B, C, D, E, ... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ... B2, Q. Very interesting. The date of the first. Now, Q asks us a question. Matrixxx, date of the first flight.
Yes.
It's so interesting how this is one thing that a lot of the mainstream news tries to trick people with, because they tell you that Q is this huge riddle, some enigma that you can't understand by reading it. But really, if you read the post properly, carefully, more times than not, Q answers the questions in the post.
Oh yeah.
You know, and so it's like, yep, exactly right, man. So this is interesting to see the date of the first flight of the B2.
And what's that date, Shady?
July 17th, 1989.
July 17th. So when is... Okay, so I guess we get the next one, right? So this is from White Eagle Aerospace, and this is all about the B-2 bomber's first flight. Here it is right there. Look at that beautiful machine. Isn't that just gorgeous, huh? And it is Northrop. It is a B-2, and it was, 1940s era experimental aircraft, which is very interesting. And it's the evolution of the large flying wing technology. And basically, it's the B-2 is 69 feet in length, but has a wingspan of 172 feet and a wing area of 5,140 square feet. It's 17,300 pounds of thrust. So it's got a GE 100 turbofan engine. It's got a top ceiling feet, 50,000 feet. 40,000 foot view. So here it is right here. The B-2 AV-1 Spirit of America SN serial number 82-1066 took off for the first time from Air Force Plant 42 in Palmdale, California on Monday, 17 July 1989, Shady.
Pretty interesting, the timelines that we're talking about here, isn't it? I mean, look at all this stuff.
It is. And let me go ahead and show you. This is, remember this video, Shady, that this is July 2nd. We did this video, and I'm going to go ahead and get over to the control panel, and I'm going to play this, guys. Ready? Here we go. This was released July 2nd. stealth bomber. Endgame. And remember, there was a plane called Endgame over the 4th of July, too, and this is released July 2nd, just so you know.
Endgame 20.
Yes.
Didn't it say Endgame 20 or ENDGME 20?
Yeah, 20, yes.
2020, baby.
2020. So Anon's new. I wanted to give a shout out. He might be here. Where is that United States of Q? Is he in there? Where's that guy?
He usually is here. I think he might be here.
Where is he? Say hello, United States of Q, because Anon's new. Check this out, guys. United States of Q was on the ground and on July 4th, but look at what he did on July, was it 7th? What's the date? Yeah, July 7th. Look at this. B-2 Spirit stealth bomber first flew on July 17th, 1989, the same day Robert Mueller is set to testify, dark to light. So he had done this before. It's almost like being Q'd almost in a way, United States of Q. Well done, my friend. Well done. And it's just very amazing, just to see that our Anons are finding stuff out like that. What else is happening on July 17th?
The Mueller testimony?
That's
Other
right.
than that, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What else?
I know that. It's a quiz. It's POTUS will have a rally.
That's correct. What else is happening? One more thing. El Chapo to be sentenced?
His sentencing is on the 17th. Oh, okay.
Right? So we've got all those 17s, guys.
Wow.
So July Qth is going to be amazing, guys. Let me go ahead and try to find that El Chapo, because, we got to put the source in here, right? It's in here.
I'll get it for you.
Yeah. So the El Chapo. So that's interesting. So that's the date of the stealth bomber. That's our United States of Q. Anon's new. Even the iPhone. Oh, look, it changed to March 21st, dude. Look at that said July 27th yesterday, Shady. Look at
Or July 17th.
Look at. Yes, July
What?
17th. Look at my tweet right here. That said July 17th.
And it changed to 27th?
It changed to March 21st.
What in the world?
They changed my tweet, dude.
How is that possible? Did
I
they change the emoji?
Yeah.
I'm going to look to see if they changed the emoji. No way they changed that.
Look at that.
I'm looking
It
right
used
now
to
on my
say
phone.
this, guys. It used to say Apple first featured this date in reference
We saw it yesterday on the July
to
17th.
his calendar app on July 17, 2002, originally known as iCal. The app's icon also displays July 17th. Emojipedia so chose July 17th as the date for World Emoji Day, first celebrated in 2014. Look at that. They changed my tweet, dude.
My phone still says the 17th on that day. What we're talking about is on the emojis. If you have iPhone, if you go to the emojis, to the little light bulb section, there's a calendar there that says July 17th. And then we started looking into that yesterday. And then that happens to be, what is it, National Emoji Day?
National Emoji Day. Support change. Connecting these pedos to the larger cabal is huge. Absolutely. And you know what? We had a request really quick, and let's just go ahead and just take a moment of silence for all the children that are in harm's way from these evildoers, and let's just say our personal, quiet little prayer. Q Patriot Robinson wanted us to just have a quick moment of silence for the operators in harm's way, POTUS, and the children that are in danger. This is what we're here for, guys. Just a moment of silence, please. Yeah. Amen, guys. Armor of God up and on. We talk about dark, deep stuff here a lot. We try to break it in with a little humor. Q Patriot Robinson, thank you so much. We will not forget. This is why we fight. This is why we fight. Amen. All right, so let's go to the next. Let's go to the next one. 3411. Shady, would you like to take it?
I'll definitely take it. 3411 yesterday at 23:10:07. This is a great one, guys. You are witnessing the greatest coordinated misinformation attack campaign ever to be launched against the public, all in an effort to protect themselves from prosecution, public exposure, and regain power control. Attempted removal of the duly elected President of the United States by illegal, manufactured means, they believed they could win and con the public support by controlled assets, media, tech, and Hollywood. These controlled assets set out to immediately create division through the use of a pre-designed misinformation campaign. Groups such as Antifa were funded and formed to prevent and or lessen the appeal for regular, hardworking Americans to gather and express non-narrative viewpoints. Control of this projected narrative depends primarily on their ability to con the masses into thinking they are the majority. The mindset of most, if the majority of people believe this, then this must be more true than that. CIA Class 1 through 99, 56, Human Psych and Emotional Distress, IIED, in Killbox. Without public support, they are powerless. We, the people, hold the power. United, we are strong. That whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundations on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness and prudence. Indeed, will dictate that government long established should not be changed for light and transient causes, and accordingly all experience hath shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer while evils are sufferable than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations pursuing invariably the same object evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. You are witnessing the systematic destruction of the old guard. Q. Fascinating, man. Fascinating words. Those words written so long ago mean so much more than Patriots know. Conspiracy people, we've been reading, we've learned this stuff. You've learned the Constitution. We knew so much of this stuff, but to think what that statement means and what you know that statement means to be applied to this movement and to this future is there's not even a word to announce the scope of this. It is huge that we're being talked to like this. You are being spoken to like you are the important part of your country, not like you are what the side thing, that the herd that it is to manage. You're being approached with a new way. You're being approached with a new thought form, with a new set of rules where we control our destiny and where we hold people accountable. This is our moment, Matrixxx. This is the moment for Anons. This is the moment for the worldwide awakening. Humanity is awake, my friend, and look at what Q and the president are telling the world. They're talking to the whole world right now, not just America.
This is huge. I mean, and you know, they're trying to divide us, trying to divide Anons and Patriots. I mean, you know, people are being shunned from YouTube and Twitter, and people are blocking each other because of misinformation and division tactics that are absolutely a con, trying to control the narrative. You know, I am, you know, a victim of this every day, and I see everything that these guys post are absolute lies, trying to divide us. They're not even talking about Q. You know, we need to talk about Q because, you know, we the people hold the power. United, we are strong. So if you see anybody dividing, in my opinion, the dividers do not exist anymore, and I will not be even acknowledging them. And I think we've got enough ammo from Q. The biggest one for me was when Q Plus posted for humanity, for God and country with the Sherman tank, which was awesome, that meme. And then for humanity. Humanity means humanity. It means all. It means everybody. So anybody trying to tell you that it's only just my group going, it's where we go when we go all, not just some guys. And, I think Q Plus actually made that very clear for us.
Yeah, I think the posts do as well.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that we have this where we go one, we go all. There's the White Squall movie, everyone must have had a little bit, and they are all in one boat in that movie, and we are all in one boat, and that boat is called Planet Earth.
Very, very awesome. Yes, that's representing of all humanity, right, Paul? I mean, that's so good. We were on a show where they were trying to say that it's just people that believe like me on that boat. In there, they say they're portraying themselves to be Q people. So, anyways, for me, I am not allowing the negativity to affect me, you, or us. We are going to go ahead and keep moving forward. We're getting, we are witnessing the systematic destruction of the old guard, and that means the way that we're thinking too. Think about it. We're talking about people that have learned things from the old guard and spewing it back to us, so we just keep fighting each other and not the actual old guard. Do you guys understand that?
And that is a tried and true method that has worked for centuries, keeping us apart, whether it's the ideas that we don't speak the same languages or however you want to look at it. But that's the way that they have engineered the boat that we're all in, like Paul says, to keep us focusing on each other instead of focusing on the mismanagement of the process. And that's really what it all boils down to, is the mismanagement of the means and the resources of the planet that we all live on. We're all living here. The president is, he came out the other day with his environmental policy. He is not out to destroy the ship that we're all on. He is out to save it. You can tell by the moves and the actions that he's making. The people on the other side are very confused, and we love them too. We understand they're confused. We all have family and friends who are confused. That is just part of this process, guys. You're not going to wake up everybody, but we need to stand together amongst those who are awake.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to also just make a quick observation. Somebody that I very much so respected, hat tipped us in a Paysor dig, is now retweeting Paula Loves Children, Paula C. Blades 001, saying things about me that are absolutely lies and untrue. So go buy the book, guys. There's a major division in this movement, and they're major people that I used to respect, people that I very much so used to respect. So let's go to 3411. Shady, what do you think of this one? Ready? Here we go. We're gonna make this.
I'm ready.
We're gonna make this one come out. Here we go. Whoa.
All right.
Oh, look at that.
It's so beautiful.
Look at that. Wow.
I love watching that.
Look at that. I mean, that is the Spirit of America. That is the original plane right there. Spirit of America. Here it is. And if you look at the 1066. That's the serial number, right? And let's go look at Q-Post 1066. Connection made. RC end. We have grounds. Reverting. Thank you. Q. Oh my gosh, guys. You know, I'm sure these are all just coincidences. But very amazing video. All right, here we go. This is 3413. Again, the Q post numbering is off a little bit. Well done, Anons. Q. And this is it. This is the Lockheed awarded contract for B-2 bomber refurbishment. Lockheed Martin has received $28 million contract for the overhaul of B-2 stealth bombers defense management system. Thank you, Lockheed Martin. Boom. And stealth bomber B-2. There you go.
Comms everywhere.
Do you believe in coincidences, guys? Thank you to Lockheed Martin, one of the USA's truly great companies. Now, I don't know if you guys have watched the latest Serial Brain 2, but I highly suggest it, from And We Know on YouTube. It is talking about how we're going to make the costs go down. And it was a very well done, basically showing that the military prowess that our POTUS showed on the July 4th was showing that he has control, that the costs are way down because he was able to buy new planes and now have the upper hand. If you recall, the last time the president said that we were going to do the parade, but it got too expensive, and it was $666 million is what they wanted to charge us, or $1,000. I can't remember what it was, but it was 666. He said, we'll wait for the cost to go way down. Okay. And they went way down. And if you haven't checked out that latest Serial Brain about this decode on July 4th meeting, very, very well done. Serial Brain 2, hat tip for that. And We Know does an amazing job with these videos. So hat tip to And We Know and Serial Brain 2.
Yeah, absolutely. I second that for sure. All of the Serial Brain stuff is just so compelling. I really enjoy the decodes, and I enjoy And We Know's presentation of it.
And Jay Vega just dropped it there for you, Patriots, to watch
Boom.
later. Watch after the show. And don't forget,
Not right now.
We got 894 people watching now. We've got 244 thumbs up. If you could give us a thumbs up, we would really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Here's the next one, Shady. This is 3414. Only Anons can fully appreciate the continued validations, confirmations through covert series of mathematical impossible coincidences means in order to maintain structural integrity. In Killbox, wheels up. Q.
Wheels up.
Ruh-roh.
Wheels up.
It looks like fun with that one, right, Matrixx?
Right. Oh, by the way, guys, if you guys want this tweetable video, I have it right here for you. Okay? So if you guys want a tweetable video. So I'm going to go to today's. So that happened. Those two posts right there are from today, this morning. This is my thread intro here, QAnon post for 7/11/19 right there. And this is well done, Anons and more. That's that post there. We just discussed that. Only Anons. So look at this, guys. I have a feeling that new eyes are coming. Look at that thing. Look at all the booms that this thing can do. Paul, look at that. Is that an amazing piece of equipment right there?
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. I had seen that before. I definitely don't want to face that.
No, you don't want to see like a bat wing flying above your head.
No,
with those things, knowing that those are all in there, right?
I would rather not be on the receiving end.
And Shady, there are 6 posts, and I'm going to wait to go to yours, okay? I did have that one there. Stealth at 40,000 feet. Okay, so this thing is capable of a ceiling of 50,000. I have a feeling we have a lot of new eyes coming, folks. So get your shovels ready. Also, Wheels Up is a company. Okay, Wheels Up.
What do they do?
Wow, they transport children and stars around the world.
You don't say.
You don't say. So you go to wheelsup.com. They have a Twitter account as well. There's some weird things. They just did a stock offering. 400 million they did this year, up from 300 million last year. They want to do a public stock offering. Kenny Dichter, damn near killed her, said on Monday. He's the CEO. And you look at stars go ahead and flying on this stuff. Serena Williams, Nick Jonas. Here they are. So, just very interesting dig. Wheels up, guys. Wheels up in Killbox is emphasis. And it just prompted me to kind of dig a little. There is Mr. Dichter talking about the Super Bowl. Who else is involved with this, guys? By the way, Bill Belichick and Tom Brady or at least Belichick are investors. Who was the owner that just got busted in Jupiter, Florida?
That was Mr. Kraft.
Yeah, owner of the what?
We have
Of the Patriots?
That's right. And remember, the Super Bowl, there was over 40 arrests as well. And here he is, Kenny Dichter, Wheels Up CEO on Squawk Box on CNBC talking about the Super Bowl. So we know the Super Bowl is a major child trafficking event for these people, okay?
Some people say Super Bowl. Some people say superb owl. Depends on how you look at it.
Exactly. Also, they got a deal with Costco where you can have a $35,000 or $3,500 cash voucher for $17,499. You can join Wheels Up. All right, so I thought that was interesting. Now, there's another coincidence about Wheels Up and with what we're talking about today. This is called The Ugly American, Sex Trafficking and Our National Humiliation. No American can rest with easy conscience while this nation is known around the world for sending out officials, business associates, government contractors, and military personnel whose motto is Wheels Up, Rings Off.
Wheels up, rings off.
Wedding rings.
Matrixx.
Right.
It's like, wow, dude. You guys, like, look at this. Look directly. This is how Q points us to stuff.
Yep, and I don't think this is on the chans yet, so drop it in there. All right, so guys, check this out, guys. Do you guys remember? Look at this. Let's just go ahead. The sexual revolution in the last several decades has transformed any public conversation about sex and sexuality. The revolutionaries directed their attention to dismantling the entire edifice of sexual morality and has been basically intact for well over 2,000 years. At one point in the sexual revolution, efforts were made to legalize prostitution as a victimless crime, a term that anyone could recognize as an oxymoron. Most of these efforts went nowhere in the United States and most of Europe through progressive law enforcement officials often looked the other way and did little to curb the market for illicit sex. Then something truly interesting started to happen. Influential forces in society began to notice the scale and magnitude of the market for sex. Law enforcement officials started to acknowledge the fact that women, along with underage girls and boys, were being trafficked through an international network of gangsters. By the end of the last decade, American officials were aware that sex trafficking was taking place in cities large and small. Women, along with boys and girls, were being kidnapped in far parts of the world and on the streets of American cities, to be sold into what could only be considered as sexual slavery. Over time, the shadow international sex trafficking became evident in criminal networks that span the globe. Women and girls answering advertisements for models, maids, and children and child minors found themselves and sold into slavery and transported around the world. Wealthy Americans booked vacations and destinations for their sexual appetite of choice, including children, could be easily purchased. As recently as 2012 Super Bowl, American officials warned that several hundred underage sex workers might be brought into the host city. These developments make the international sex trafficking networks impossible to deny. Then came the news of at least 7 Secret Service agents that had been involved in prostitution scandal in Cartagena, Colombia, in advance of a visit there by President Barack Hussein Obama. It is believed that several members of the U.S. military were also involved. Even as the scandal began to break, the international media reported that cities like Cartagena have become magnets for the sex trade, with much of their business provided by lustful Americans. Critics of these Secret Service suggested that a good many of its agents adopted the motto of "Wheels Up, Rings Off," indicating plans to visit prostitutes in their destination city. They planned their involvement with prostitutes well in advance of their arrival to advance the president's trip it is alleged. As if Americans were not sufficiently shocked, USA Today reported that the Secret Service scandal was no aberration. Kristen Powers reported, men working abroad on behalf of our government engage in this kind of behavior so frequently that the Pentagon was forced in 2004 to draft an anti-prostitution rule that aimed at preventing the U.S. military from being complicit in fueling sex trafficking. It appears that the rule did not restrain those involved in the Cartagena scandal, nor many others. Powers also reported that the American government has been aware for some time that much of the energy in the international sex trafficking underworld comes from the American government personnel, both in uniform and out. Powers cited Rep. Christopher Smith from New Jersey, Republican, who declared that women and girls are being forced into prostitution for clientele consisting largely of military service members, government contractors, and international peacekeepers. One report indicates that the young girls have been kidnapped in Eastern Europe specifically to be sold to an American contractor to use for sex. Those contractors were there under the auspices of our government to establish peace and security in the aftermath of the Bosnian crisis. As Kirsten Powers observed, representatives of the U.S. government should be setting the standard for the world, not feeding the problem of sex trafficking. The chances that women or girls of the Secret Service agents procured for their pleasure were by their free will is very low. Most likely they were sex slaves. Thankfully, there is much less talk these days about prostitution and sex trafficking as victimless crime. Few crimes offer such a dismal view of human moral reality. This is a ready market for every form of lust, and criminal syndicates stand ready to sell anyone for and anything for a price. Bringing the story even closer to home, Nicholas Kristof of the New York Times reported that the story of a sex worker in New York City, quote, "If you think sex trafficking only happens in faraway places like Nepal or Thailand, then you should listen to an expert on American sex trafficking I interviewed the other day," he wrote, quote, "But first, wish her happy birthday. She turned 16 years old on Thursday." Kristof told of Brianna, who had been effectively kidnapped and sold into sex trade after she ran away from home for the only one night at the age of 12. He also described the prominences of a major internet sex trafficking sites, of which accounts for about 70% of American prostitution ads. Brianna reported that she had been offered on such a site, estimating that half of the business into which she was sold came through the site. Chillingly, Kristof also reported that the major Wall Street financial firms were profiting by the business. Kirsten Powers just got right when she wrote, "We have a global epidemic of sex trafficking. I can only wonder how many Americans understand that the we in the statement means us, the American people. When congressmen can admit for all of us that women and girls are being forced into sex trade for clientele, consisting largely of American government officials and contractors along with the U.S. military, that problems become the responsibility of the everyday American. American Christians who understand the incomprehensible scandal and moral horror of sex trafficking must recognize that this is an issue of high moral priority. We must demand the enforcement of laws meant to protect the human beings from being sold into sexual slavery, and the vigorous prosecution of those who are engaged in sex trafficking. And we're seeing that now, guys. We must demand that any American involved in such activities be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, and that every effort be made to release women and young people from sexual slavery. No American can rest with an easy conscience while this nation is known around the world for sending out officials, business associates, government contractors, and military personnel whose motto is "Wheels up, rings off." Thank you for that article.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you taking the time to go ahead and read all that, Matrixx. That's very important for us to understand. And I'd like to add a little bit to this to let you guys recognize some of the stuff. You know, how does this connect? And what are you being told? And how does this all work? And how does the lie get out there? And how do we know? How does no one see this stuff that's going on? I'm telling you, This is the connection. The connection is the Secret Service. The connection is the Secret Service goes back all the way back. The Secret Service is what you would consider the beginning of the CIA. They have their beginnings around the time of Lincoln, a little bit before there. They were in charge of the operations against him, in charge of operations against all other presidents who did not go along with the proper narrative. And so this shows you the Secret Service and their connections to what's really going on behind the scenes, guys. And this is the truth. The truth is there's around 300, somewhere between 300 and 400,000 people under the age of 18 go missing in America every year. And they're going to tell you that, oh, those are kids that just run away and they ended up having a life somewhere else and they're just trying to escape their terrible, terrible home life or whatever the excuse is. But I'm letting you know that that is not accurate. And that is in America. So just imagine if that can go on here, what is going on in places like Syria and Libya and Iraq and South America, and what they've done to the governments and the institutions in South America through the drug trade, through the CIA operations of moving this stuff around in the air. These people think they are above the law. They think that you're never going to see them. They think that no one knows they exist, and that they think that their bureaucracy protects them. This is a really, really large scope and insight into what is going on behind the scenes, everyone, and the importance of you and us being here talking about this stuff, not just to our fans and family, but actually coming out and talking about this stuff. Matrixx, that was I appreciate you reading that. Yeah, man.
Hey, Shady, yeah, thank you. I would just like to add from a Brazilian standpoint that we get this very same kinds of problem as you would expect, Brazil being an underdeveloped country. We get the same kind of things happening here. We had just recently a big scandal where a man named João de Deus, meaning John of God, who was a faith healer in the northern state of Goiás, he was arrested and charged with sexual misconduct and rape and stuff. But soon after, we learned that he was running human farms in deep state Goiás. It's a very faraway place from any scrutiny. He was running baby farms. He would get the girls, the young poor girls, there to procreate babies. And we are not really quite sure what was the end, the purpose of those babies. But we suspect the worst. And you probably will not be surprised to know that this John of God guy was featured several times on Oprah's show, like he was a great guy, and he was featured on Oprah, and he is somehow related to the Clinton Foundation. That always seems to appear whenever there's this kind of story, right?
Yeah, that's
absolutely.
That's amazing. And I also want to point out back on October 5th or 6th, when Trump said, you know what this is? This is the calm before the storm, and he kind of drew the cue. Along with military top officials, there were 2 meetings held after that event, and the second meeting was all about human trafficking, people. This president knows what's up, and this president has been doing so much on the arrests of human traffickers. I mean, there's over 100,000 indictments sealed right now, guys. This is happening. This is happening. It is horrific. It's absolutely horrific. Go ahead, guys.
Yeah, it really is it's the part of this whole thing that's probably the hardest to look at whenever we get down to the brass tacks of it. But whenever everyone starts to realize how this affects institutions, like Paul was talking about, Oprah's support of lots of different nefarious organizations. Oprah Winfrey Network, OWN, backwards is NWO. They put it right in front of us, and they don't think that you're going to see it. And what Paul is saying, the connections with all of this stuff, and the CIA and their lines through in and out of war-torn regions and in and out of places of upheaval. Like you imagine what's going on in Venezuela right now. This is a breeding ground for this. This is why they need chaos. This is why a calm, peaceful world doesn't fit their description, because their activities can't be masked in chaos and confusion. It really doesn't seem like any people that I've met are really up for lots and lots of war. We kind of like a peaceful life. We're not really looking to kill ourselves or have our children killed. So that obvious reality is lost on the society that is being engineered around us. And the only way we're going to change it is to become aware. And I know it's hard to look at, I know it's hard to understand, but the only way we can change this, everyone out there, is awareness, your awareness, bringing it to the conversation and being honest about it. And that's the tough thing, being honest about it and recognize that it is real, and it's tough, but it's real.
And let's follow the pen. This is Trump signing the trafficking victims. Here he is.
Reauthorization Act on Wednesday, the fourth in a series of bills he signed on human trafficking in the last month. The act was first established in 2000, and among the many things it did was to put the State Department in charge of essentially creating a scorecard for different countries on how well they're doing at combating human trafficking. What the president signed today changed the criteria for determining if a country is meeting the minimum standard, and if not, what the United States is going to do about it. Trump used the opportunity to call for tighter border security, saying traffickers exploit gaps in the border to smuggle people between the United States and Mexico.
In many cases, women and children grabbed, thrown into the backseat of a car or thrown into a van with no windows, with any form of air, tape put across their mouths, and they're brought across the border. And they don't go through checkpoints.
Last year, more than 8,500 human trafficking cases were reported to the National Human Trafficking Hotline.
Oh, and we know about that
Trump
hotline,
has
don't
also
we?
declared January 2019 as National Slavery and Human Trafficking Prevention Month.
All right, so there you go. That is actions, guys. That is backing up Q posts. That is backing up what we are doing here today with you. That is backing up everything right there.
Yeah, keep your eyes on Ivanka Trump as well in all of this, because she is going to play a major role in taking a lot of this stuff out and be credited with it. So this has a lot to do with her work that people aren't talking about. Notice how no one's talking about what Ivanka Trump is doing.
Right.
This is what she's doing.
Right.
This is what she's talking about. This is the events that she's going and speaking at have to do with this, and the media is not covering it.
That's right. So this is what we're after, guys. I just want to quickly run through a couple of things, and I want to turn it over to Paul. This is the Anons were digging on the possible submarine entrance to the island, okay? Q is asking us to look at the degrees, how deep, in Q post. So the distance from the temple to sea level, it's maybe 33 degrees. But really interesting that Ghislaine Maxwell had a submarine license, and I've got the source for that here coming soon. But this could be an actual submarine area in the channels. This right here could be the dock and whatnot for the submarine. There's another entrance right there to the temple. This is Stephen Hawking back in 2000, I don't remember, but he's on a submarine on St. James Island. These are the channels, the deepest being the blue. If you look right there on the Virgin Islands, they have channels, and they're minimum of negative 20 meters, okay? Max is 8,000 in the blue. So there are channels all throughout the Virgin Islands. Okay.
And also this number one, make sure we mention that Ghislaine Maxwell is the wife of Epstein, and that the channels for these submarines, we've actually found lots of stuff, interestingly enough, that has to do with Antarctica and the Rothschild, quote unquote, harboring of subs for quite a number of years down there, guys.
Right.
Lots of stuff that we don't see going on.
So here's the proof. This is about Ghislaine Maxwell. This is proven, he declared, by the fact that she holds a bachelor's and master's degree from Oxford, is a private helicopter pilot, a trained EMT paramedic, and a deep worker submarine pilot, in addition to being fluent in 4 languages. That name of this remarkable sounding individual, Ghislaine Maxwell. So we've got the proof there.
So she can fly helicopters and
yeah,
navigate submarines.
This is a little bit hard to see. On the iPhone, you can upload it pretty well. Ghislaine Maxwell is right there. Says that she he'd like to rapt, but it's raped women. I mean, these are all the people. Courtney Love is there. Cyrus Vance, Mark Epstein, the Prince Andrew, Prince Charles, Haley Robinson. I mean, look at Alan Dershowitz, Robert De Niro. I mean, look at these.
Charlie Rose. You know, and this is throughout. We're going to end up connecting all of this to most events that happened where child stars died young, and all these stories of people like quote Kurt Cobain and even other different Hollywood or musicians who were taken early has more to do with this stuff than it has to do with their drug addiction.
Look at what
Chester Bennington and what's the other guy's the most recent guy from Cornell, Chris Cornell.
Oh, Chris Cornell, yeah.
Yeah.
Look at right here. Looks like there's a submarine in the water right there, doesn't it?
Looks submerged to me.
There it is. Pizza.pi.vi. Woo, get your submarine pizza. Pizza pie. Interesting, huh? Pie, New York, New York. Now also, could this be something in regards to this? We have the sub hostage release. Q post 952. Maybe we were thinking it was like a missing Russian sub or another kind. Maybe the sub has to do with what we're talking about today, guys. Just food for thought. And that's
Matrixx.
Yes.
Can I jump in on this submarine?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I happen to have developed a few sources during all this 18 months of work that I'm doing in the storm. So I have one source that has a little bit of clearance, and I don't want to be alarmist, but it seems that the turning around of Mike Pence's flight, actually the flight never left the ground, I think, but the incident with Mike Pence's flight was probably a little bit more serious than we think it was. And if you remember well, there was a Russian submarine that was sank, caught fire and sank on that very same day.
Yeah.
Yes.
Those two things are probably related. I don't want to.
There was a lot of fake news that day too. Remember, there was a lot of people passing around fake news, like there were submarine, like a submarine skirmish between U.S. and Russian subs. That was news that was going around that day that no one ever confirmed.
Yeah, I don't know how fake that description would be. To be
I
honest.
don't either. Exactly.
Yeah. The way that the information that I was fed, it was they were locking horns. That's the way it was relayed to me. And of course, there is a relationship at the top between the two leaders that overrode that, but it was pretty close. I would just like to say that about the sub. Well, I think, which ones did I send you? I'm sorry. Yeah, well, the Flynn update is important, but it's a thread that I did not arrive at. It was done very quickly, and I did not arrive at any new conclusions. Just that since now the general has a new lawyer, and this new lawyer she's seeking security clearance so that she can get into the pressure that the Flynn team was suffering from the National Security Department at the DOJ was doing pressure on the Flynn team on a scale that probably we didn't know before. It was like a heavy. And so the Flynn team of lawyers filled the FARA feelings, did the FARA feelings, and the mistake that the general is now being prosecuted for. The lying to the FBI was not done by him, was done by his team. And also, so he would not testify against his former associate, because they wanted him to testify that he lied on purpose, that he lied knowingly.
Right.
Right. Knowingly.
So he
right.
will not do that. So now he has Sidney Powell on his team. She's a kick-ass lawyer. I'm sure everyone by now knows who she is, and so he is not going to testify that he lied knowingly, that he lied on purpose, because that would not be true. It would be like 2 posts below. Yeah, this Loffman guy is the guy who put the screws on the Flynn team. And interestingly enough, this guy Loffman, he was fired. I mean, he resigned in disgrace because of Michael Horowitz's investigation. You know, if there ever was a black hat or a bad player, this guy seems to be one of them.
So Loffman resigned shortly after February 8th, 2017 during DOJ Inspector General Michael Horowitz's investigation into the FBI's probe of Hillary Clinton's use of a private server to send classified emails. Wow.
This guy is probably a bad player. So what Sidney Powell now is trying to do is she's getting a security clearance so she can go after the information that she can't get access right now because she doesn't have one, you know? So I guess the real summation of what I have to say is we are about to see explosive new developments on the Flynn case, and probably get access to material that we never had before, because we don't have security clearance, of course, and the general is not discussing things that are classified, because the operators don't do that, of course.
That's right.
But so I guess we may be expecting real explosive. Oh, this is the drop that I was referring to. There's a big direct reason why Flynn's new attorney is seeking security clearance. Of course, there may be other reasons because she's doing that, but the most direct reason for me is that she can probe what Laufer, the national security guy from the DOJ, was doing, because apparently he was the one that was responsible for Flynn's quote-unquote lie, because he did not lie. We are being told now. Some of the information in his FARA filings were lies. You know, it's not that he lied to the investigators,
right?
Because even Comey told us that the general didn't lie, right?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, but so why did they prosecute him for lying? Because the lies, that's what I'm gathering now, the lies were in the FARA feelings that he had to file under extreme duress. Now what you're showing now is, I had 2 stories in this thread. The first one was from Sarah Carter, yes, and the second one was from, this is a different piece about what we were talking about Laufer. But the second piece was going to be about it's a piece from the New York Times, and it has a lot of good information. But the spin, that's it. The spin is so bad that I said, no, I'm going to put it in inverse colors. It's black with white letters, just to emphasize how dark the soul of these people are.
Right.
Wow, that's awesome. That is
awesome. They try to tell, on the New York Times piece, they try to tell us that the general changed his mind or changed his story.
Of course.
Because it's not true. What he's saying is there was lying to the FBI, and he knew that lying to the FBI was a crime. But what he's saying now is he did not willfully and knowingly lie to the FBI. The lie was, that's what I gather, the lie was in the FARA feelings.
Absolutely. It was in the FARA filings, right? So here's the other one, the New York Times, refreshing our memories about the case, right? This is it right here. But you said, you're right, the spin is a little bit crazy, huh? Hey, Blessed to Teach is out there. Welcome, Blessed to Teach. Prayers for you, my brother, and I hope you're doing well. And where we go one, we go all for humanity. Much love. All right, so yeah, this is a very good thread, guys. Get this out. This is a very good thread.
If we could just have two words about. I don't know if I sent you my a pedophile's tale about the Epstein trial in Florida. Did I send you that?
Yeah, that we went over that. Let me see. I don't think I have it. Let me just double check. I've got the QAnon thread, Jesse Hoax.
Can you send me? Can I share my screen here for a while?
Absolutely. Let me get it right over to you. Hang on 1 second, my friend. Stop share, and then you go ahead and share, and I will make it so the people can see.
Can you all see?
Yep. Give me 1 second before everybody can see. Hang on 1 second. All right, here we go. Where is Zoom? Oh, let me just see. All right. I believe everybody can. Yep, everybody can see you now, my friend.
Okay. So now I had lost myself, but I found myself again. So this, to begin with, the arrest of Jeffrey Epstein was a great moment for us. I mean, I don't want to, step on the guy's problems, but the fact is, we have been talking about this for quite some time. And then I got all the material that was dropped by the FBI or the DOJ, I don't remember, but it was about his first legal troubles in 2005, the ones that involve Secretary Acosta and stuff. So I would like to I'm gonna send it to you guys so you can post on the chat, because this is about his early problems. And it dispels some wrong things that I have been hearing people say. I've heard people say, "Oh, he was not convicted because he had the Palm Beach police in his pocket." That's not true. The Palm Beach police did a great job. The place where he got his defense and his cover-ups were all in the DA, the district attorney from Florida, was the guy who was willing to give him a plea that would involve no jail time, and he wouldn't have to register as a sex offender. So whatever bad deal he got from Acosta, and it was really bad, now we know, and it's been overturned in many ways. We know that the deal that the DA in Florida was about to hand him was much, much worse. So what I would like to call your attention to this thread, because you really get to know his modus operandi in how he got the girls, his liaison with Ghislaine Maxwell, how he got into the spotlight, how he got arrested, how the police was clashing all the time with the district attorney and the prosecutors, how his legal team harassed witnesses. This is a part of the story that's really bad for Alan Dershowitz, because he was involved in pretty nasty stuff, trying to blame the victims, the old game. So I would like to really send this to you so you can.
Yep, Jay Vega already has it posted for you all.
Yeah, we got it. I got it.
Okay, thank you. So that I'm going to stop sharing there. That was what I wanted to talk about, because when the Epstein presser ended, I was watching this with my son here. The first thing that I saw was a reporter. She stood up from her chair and she said, "Man, those QAnon people now are going to be freaking out all morning," because she knew that once everything that we have been talking about starts to play out in the open, there is no way that people are not going to link one thing to the other that we have been saying. And also there was this piece, news piece from Vice, that it was all designed to say, oh, we know that it looks like QAnon got everything right, but they didn't. Of course, it's the spin they put on it. But the beautiful thing is they can't help but acknowledge the fact that everything we are saying is becoming true. So they are trying to change their narrative. And of course, in this last piece, they were saying that the big thing that we got wrong from all of it is that we know that POTUS is the hero of the story. And they try to spin it in a way that that's a big mistake. He's not. He's just another crooked politician, which we know he's not,
Absolutely. Wow.
So I would like to direct people to this thread. I think it's pretty helpful.
That is an amazing thread, Paul. Thank you for that.
Yeah, this is really getting interesting, isn't it, guys? Ooh. I mean, look at where we are at right now. I mean, we are on the precipice of all of this cascading from all different directions at the same time.
You know what? I want to play a quick song real quick. This is from Real Mentoring on YouTube, and it's Tinker Blue D on Twitter. She might be updating it, but I just want to show you the inspiration that people are doing. This is TikTok Exploring Q. Very cool, man. TikTok Exploring Q. That's it right there. Thank you very much for that. That is from Real Mentoring out there in YouTube land. Just love it. Just love the inspiration, people doing things. I'm going to thumb that up. I thought I already did. But look at that. Just superb for sharing. Thank you very much. If you guys get something that you guys want to have on the air, just send it to me, DM it, because we're here to support you and your creativity. We need to be loud, be proud, and be heard, and that's exactly what we're trying to do. So,
and don't hesitate to share your creative stuff with us. We want to see it. If you want to make video of music, if you want to do like a talking blog thing or something, things that are creative, things that inspire you, share it with us, put it up there. Let's get out in public. Let's bring this larger conversation. You see what's going on in the world. Look at what's going on in Hong Kong. Look at what's going on all over the planet, in France and Britain, and people getting away from this idea of globalism, getting back to the idea of each of us having our own unique values and cultures and experiencing those together, and then being able to live in a world where we can go experience other people's instead of trying to make the world this mosh of destruction and chaos. It can be completely different than that, and our creative efforts are what drive that force, Matrixxx. It really is. And being on this wall with all of you guys and having Paul that brings so much love and effort and energy to this, and all the other Anons out there on the boards, and all the Patriots, and the people that fight, and the people that talk, and the people that put yourself out there to your family only to have them tell you that you're this or you're that, and then talk behind your back. It's all okay. All that's going to be okay. Have less emotion with it and more inner strength from recognizing what it is we're all doing here. We're on the right side of this, and we're going to win it.
Look at Paul. You got music. I'm going to play your music. Which song would you play, Paul? Hard Times Are Over?
Thank you. That's so great. I would say Electric Man.
All right.
Let's do it.
Not every single. Not
we
every,
like having fun here.
Which
yeah,
one?
not every single song is in English. Some of those are in Portuguese, and the Electric Man is good because he gets. It was I wrote it and recorded and released before I got into the revolution, but it's great because it say the guys are playing behind the electric fence, so it's like a border fence.
It almost makes sense, right? It's an electric border fence, the Electric Man.
Yeah. I broke my hand, so I had to put electricity in and ultrasound on the arm to get well. So I guess it came from that.
Very interesting. This is Electric Man from Paul Ceran. Uh-oh. Do I have to sign up? Man. I'm sorry. I didn't sign up. Darn it. I'm sorry, guys. Is there another way to play it, Paul? Guys, I will sign up and we'll play it next time. Oh, wait. Here's Electric Man. Hang on. Whoop. Is this it? Here we go.
Shot me in the arm, I put the word out to my friends. I'm the electric man with my electric hand. When they shot me in the head, they had my brain cells in the sand. We're in the electric land, behind the electric fence. When the bell lights up the stage, we want the message to the fans. I'm the living robot, I'm the Google search, I'm the boogie master, shocking what I touch. What I touch. See me coming, close your eyes and pray, cause my hand will shot you, pretty much will make your day. Make your day. I'm the electric man with my electric hand. When they shot me in the arm, I put the word out to my friends. Shot me in the arm, I put the word out to my friends. electric hand. When they shot me in the head, they had my brain cells in the sand.
Saran, the Electric Man. Wow, Paul.
What do you think about that?
I love it.
Amazing.
Oh, Paul, we're going to make a video.
That
is amazing.
Oh, hell yeah.
You're so kind. You're so kind to play. Thank you. It means a lot to me.
Well, I just found it on the fly, my friend. And don't forget to get over to Paul Saran on YouTube. There he is right there. He is on Spotify. Pseudonym saved the day by finding it on YouTube, The Electric Man. Thank you very much for that. This is Paul Saran on Twitter. It's PAUL_Saran with 2 R's, A-N, S-E-R-R-A-N. He's amazing. He does have a Patreon. Get over there and support Paul if you can. Buy him a cup of coffee. Obviously, we support you, Paul. We're amazed. I know we had a bunch of Q posts. I know you had other things that we wanted to go over. Do you have any final thoughts?
I wanted to go over it with you. That's what I want to do. I wanted to discuss everything with you. That's the point.
And look at how amazing you're getting. You're getting more comfortable with us. The people out there love you. Press 45 for Paul Saran if you like our man.
Oh, you're getting ready to see it rain 45.
Paul Saran. Our Electric Man, Paul Saran. Press 45.
Make it rain like Matrixxx code, guys.
Yeah, buddy. I'm going to have to put mine in because there he is. There. Look at the 45s. Boom.
Drop them.
Paul, I think they like you. You should see
them. They
them.
like him. Yep, that's an overwhelming positive result in our poll there, Matrixxx.
Yep. Miss Q is out there. Love you, Miss Q.
I love to see that.
There's Deplorable. Look at that. I can't even read the names. Queued up. New Zealand. Oh, my gosh. Kiwi Patriot, thank you very much, my friend. You are an amazing, amazing Patriot. You do not have to do that. Nobody actually. Look at that. You see that? Look at it. It's still going, Paul. 45.
Yeah, I'm floored here. I can't believe it.
It's amazing. I love you, Paul. You are an amazing Patriot, my Rio de Janeiro friend and Patriot. And Shady and I are honored to have you. We love your digs because.
What are shovels used for?
Digging.
That's right, Paul. So we'll be digging along together. We're digging with you. Can you guys dig it?
Thank you, and once again, thank you. Thanks for having me here. It's a great show, and it's a real pleasure to be here.
Thank you. And yes, we want you every Thursday. We did miss the last Thursdays due to July 4th, and we were traveling. But what an amazing time to be alive, my friend. And, this is a worldwide movement. There are over 126 countries coming to intheMatrixxx with 3x's.com. And, Paul, final thoughts. I'll turn it to Shady, and then we are going to squeeze down and get out of this matrix because we need to become more in real life. We need to materialize outside of this internet. We need to maintain and be digital soldiers, but we need to get out there, guys. Get out there. Red pill. Ask the questions, Paul. Final thoughts.
Final thoughts. First of all, thank you for so much love from everyone that's watching this now. And it's a very dark and difficult thing for us to realize that the whole geopolitical reality of this planet was being planned to satisfy the criminal appetites of the super elites. But that's one thing that was happening. We have to come to terms with it, and we have to go out and destroy them. So thank you very much. It's been a great week to be in the revolution, and it's only going to intensify the winning. The winning will intensify. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. Shady.
Man, I don't think that anyone could have said it any better than that because, yes, the winning is going to intensify, and you guys are never going to get tired of winning. and the president tells you he's going to just keep winning. And so we're going to just keep bringing the winning every day. And everybody out there that has spoken up, that has brought their voices to this conversation, we are all navigating a new path. This is a new path. It is imperfect. It fluctuates. It breathes. It's breathing. This movement currently is alive. It is on fire, and it is breathing. It has a life of its own. This cannot be stopped. The momentum is unbelievable, and just to the opportunity to be here with you guys and to have Paul come join us is just amazing that it's happening. And I couldn't say any more great things about you guys. So with that, I'm going to squeeze down out of here. And we got to get to the next stop and get out of this matrix so that we can all get out of the matrix. Much love, everybody.
Much love, everybody. Remember, where we go one, we go all. For God and country, for humanity. Humanity is the human race. It's human beings collectively. It's humankind. The human species, mankind, man, people, women, mortals, homo sapiens. Compassion, brotherly love, fellow feeling, humanness, kindness, heart kindness, consideration, understanding, sympathy, tolerance, goodness, good-heartedness, gentleness, leniency, mercy, mercifulness, pity, tenderness, benevolence, charity, generosity, monogamity. This is it. That's humanity. It's everything. It's the human race. Much love. Where we go one, we go all. See you tomorrow, 1 p.m. East Coast time. In the Matrixx with 3x's.com. At Shady Grooove with 3 O's. At In the Matrixx on Twitter with 3 X's. YouTube.com/C/InTheMatrixx with 3 X's. Do not forget to share this show. It does repeat. It can be rewatched. It will be broadcast at 5:17 p.m. today on Twitter, Periscope. Much love. Peace.
What are shovels used for?
Digging.